just to come
Yeah.
back in a few minutes.
So the
Taking live.
applicant.
Hello. Okay, good afternoon. This is Mark Kleiser with Planning and Building Services calling the October 11th, 2023 Archaeological Commission meeting to order. But I am going to suggest that we come back at 2:10 in order to give Commissioner Lockhart time to arrive. So we will be back at 2:10.
Hi,
Hi, did you get that, Bill?
what's that?
We're going to return at 2:10 in order to give Commissioner Lockhart time to arrive.
Okay, cool.
We'll see you at 2:10.
Right.
And then OBS has been having problems
Because I serve on the Behavioral Health Board also.
Let's see, do what?
Behavioral Health Board.
Oh, okay.
2:10, ready?
Ready?
There you go.
Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Again, Mark Kleiser with Planning and Building Services, calling the October 11th, 2023 Archaeological Commission meeting back to order at 2:10 p.m. Before we begin the meeting, we want to acknowledge with respect the indigenous peoples on whose ancestral land we hold this Archaeological Commission meeting and whose historical relationships with the land continue to this day. Okay, roll call. Planning and Building Services is here. Museum representative?
Here.
Archaeologist representative?
Present?
Native American representative?
Here,
Alternate representative?
Here.
And we do not currently have an industry representative.
Get
Okay,
back.
moving on to item 2, Archaeological Commission Administration. The applications listed below will be reviewed by the Archaeological Commission. You are invited to view the meeting on YouTube and provide any information pertinent to these applications. If you have photographs of the site, you are encouraged to email them to the above email address by 2 p.m. on October 11th, 2023. And moving on to item 3, survey required. We have one item under this section today. This is case number CDP 2021-0041. The owner applicant is Giza Polani. The request is a standard coastal development permit after the fact to permit grading and repair an existing berm for easier maintenance. The project is located in the coastal zone, approximately 2.76 miles from Mendocino Town Center on the west side of Point Cabrillo Drive, approximately 760 feet from its intersection with Lighthouse Road, and it is addressed at 13500 Point Cabrillo Drive, assessor parcel number 118-16018. And do we have anyone here to speak on this item?
I don't believe we have anyone here for this item.
Okay.
I wanted to throw out a discussion on whether a survey is really required. It's a berm. He's repairing an existing berm. I'm assuming that it's an old trailer park. I'm sure it's very, very disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
He's flattening a berm so he can mow it better. The person who did the botanical survey saw very little in the way of any kind of native vegetation. So I'm just wondering, it's very small, you know. I'm just wondering if we could have the guy just skip the survey.
Sure, that's entirely within your right to vote on or make a motion on no survey required. Commissioner Call, Commissioner Dick, Commissioner Lockhart, any comments?
that's a good
I
point.
can't hear him.
I just don't want people to think that, we're a pushover.
No, but I would
That's why I
think,
said it's a good point.
yeah. It just seems like it's kind of like the one that was in Ukiah. It's been bulldozed and.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because that seems to be the mentality of.
is this in Ukiah?
No, this is in, Point Arena.
No, I think it's.
Point Cabrillo.
Point
Drive.
Cabrillo.
Yeah,
Drive.
I think it's a trailer park. I don't see the ocean. There's a trailer park right across
It's
from
on
the
the way
ocean, but
to the
it's,
lighthouse, isn't it?
yeah, it's very close to the lighthouse.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering if I actually camped there, but I don't recognize it, the floor plan.
Let's see what the map says. So this is south of Casper, north of Mendocino,
All right.
the west side of 1.
Says the botanical guy says, as you may know, the parcel has a history of heavy impact, having been a low-income trailer park for many, many years. And he's already done grading, and he's trying to, alter the berm a little bit. I'm just wondering if it's one of those things where it's just, should have been done 50 years ago if it was gonna be done.
Well, any more comments from commissioners or a motion?
I agree. I think it's been run over so many times at this point.
Not intact. Okay. All right.
So a motion to skip the survey?
Okay, so we have a motion then by Commissioner Johnson. No survey required. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, roll call then. Commissioner Cole,
Affirmative.
Commissioner Dick,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
and Commissioner Lockhart.
I have a point of order. Would that include discovery clause, of course?
Of course, yes.
Then I'll vote
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right, motion carries 4-0, no survey required. Okay, moving on. We have CDP. Oh, I'm sorry, we're moving on to item 4. Item 3B was incorrectly put into the survey required section, so this will be the first item in section 4, which is review of survey. So we have here case number CDP 2023-0012. The owner is Mark and Catherine Bowl. The agent and applicant is Deborah Lennox. The request is a standard coastal development permit to replace entry stairway, reconfigure landscaping walls, parking and fencing, including a new bathroom of 135 square feet, a deck of 773 square feet, a porch of 199 square feet, new hot tub with slab and landscaping walls of 67 square feet. The location is in the coastal zone, approximately 1.8 miles north of the town of Mendocino, on the west side of State Route 1, approximately 0.2 miles north of its intersection with Fern Drive. Project is addressed at 45175 Fern Drive. APN number is 118-23057. And do we have anyone here from the project to speak?
Yes, we have the owner and agent.
Oh, great. Welcome, Mr. Bull and Ms. Lennox.
Thanks,
Hi,
Matt.
everyone.
Hi. Any comments on the project before we turn it over to the commission for discussion?
I think it was a thorough archaeology study, and it's been in a little subdivision that has been impacted quite a bit. So I think everything speaks for itself, but I'm here if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
And the only thing I would add, living in the house, a lot of the work is replacing existing structures. So the entryway it's just replacing that. The deck is a little bit more of an extension on the westward side of the house. So there'll be a few pillars that go. And the bathroom is kind of a phase out in the future. But I do feel like a lot of the work being done is replacing a lot of the existing stuff that's there.
Okay, thank you. So we'll bring it back to the commission then for discussion.
I think I would accept the survey, and nothing was found, and I think the methodology was solid.
Yes, I agree. It looks like the transects were no greater than 10 meters. Shovel tests, the entire parcel was surveyed.
Soils well described.
Commissioner Lockhart, Commissioner Call, Commissioner Dick, any comments?
I have to recuse myself.
Oh, that's right. So.
It's well done, and I agree that we should accept the survey.
Okay. Commissioner
Will
Dick?
answer any questions.
No, I thought it was a thorough report, so I think we can accept it.
Okay. Can I get a motion then?
Excuse me, I just want to make one comment, please.
Yes.
Thank you. The fact that they're not really moving any soil.
I believe it's 67 square feet. Ms. Lennox, is it 67 square feet of soil that is being moved for the hot tub slab? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a very small slab around the hot tub on the southwest corner of the existing house connected to the existing deck. So, and then on the southeast side for the bathroom is going to have a perimeter foundation. And let's see, that one is 135 square feet, but we weren't planning on doing any excavation there except for the perimeter.
Okay. And that also is
It's
located.
a 30, I was going to say it's on a 40-degree slope, or 38 degrees. It's on a hillside. There's no, it's not archaeologically sensitive. They're digging into a clay bank.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Okay. So still looking for a motion then?
well, should we accept the survey?
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Johnson to accept the survey. You have a second?
I'll second.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Seconded by Commissioner Dick. All right, roll call then. Commissioner Call has abstained. Commissioner Dick,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Lockhart,
Yes.
and PBS is a yes. Okay, survey is accepted 4-0. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you all.
Have a good day.
Thanks,
All
Bill.
right, moving on. This is item number CDP 2022-0034. This is continued from last month's archaeological meeting. The owner applicant is Deborah and Thomas Johnson. The request is to construct a 2-bedroom, single-family residence with garage, a well, a 2,500-gallon water tank, septic tank, solar array and garage roof, grade entrance road, and building site. Project's located in the coastal zone, approximately 0.25 miles from Casper Town Center, lying on the west side of State Route 1, approximately 880 feet from its intersection with Casper Road. It is addressed at 15350 North Highway 1 in Casper, assessor parcel number 118-02018. And do we have anyone here from the project?
It looks like we do not have anyone here for this project.
Okay. All right then, bringing it back to the commission then.
So my understanding is that the survey's 4 years old and there's not enough detail in the methodology. Is that,
Yes, so
nothing was found, but there's also absolutely no specific. They just say they do some scrapes every now and then, and it's 3 acres and, okay, so.
the comments from the commission last month were to bring this back. And I have here, project continued to October 11th. Archaeologists to provide explanation of how conclusions were reached for survey, given that only 10% of site was observed. Also an explanation of if and where shovel tests were completed. Shovel tests were for observation of mineral soils.
At the bottom of page 10, it says no studies have been conducted within the project area, but there's been a lot of studies done around the area. I wonder, why is that?
Good question.
Well, I think in Casper, there's just so many little individual developments that,
Yeah, true. So just do it one piece at a time.
But we don't have any more information than we had last month, right? And we have nobody from the project who's,
No, it looks like they've expanded on the field methods. On page 15, this is
Oh, okay.
significantly more than was provided last time.
Where-
They,
the
Could you
25
guide-
meters.
Could you guide me to that?
page 15 of, let's see. Yes, right there. So this is different from the submission from last month. They've expanded on it. They noted that the transects were no greater than 10-meter intervals, and that wasn't available on the survey provided last month. They talked about the shovel tests used to periodically probe the surface and expose mineral soils. They do say shovel scrapes were done at approximately 25-meter intervals throughout the parcel, which is less than we'd like to see by 5 meters, I think. I think we're 20 meters.
Well, it doesn't show where they happened either.
There's supposed to be a photograph.
And that was October 17th,
There's a photograph
2019.
of one shovel hole. But I don't think there's anything to show where the shovel tests were.
Been nothing done recently. This is October 2019.
Right.
Well, we didn't ask them to do a new survey. We asked them just to expand on how they conducted the survey from 2019. So a new survey wasn't requested.
Now, the shovel, picture of the shovel scrape is in a wetland. So obviously it's a very damp area.
Who cares?
Well, if you look at one of the aerial photos, it almost looks like a creek runoff or something through the middle of their parcel.
I see that. Yeah, I mean, addressing mineral soils every 25 meters is kind of stretching it.
Yeah, every 100 feet you get a hole. I'm looking at the map on, well, it doesn't have a page. It's the one that is a drawing of the site plan, and it's got the riparian area and a wetland, designated wetland.
What page is that?
Well, it's not, it's right after the photograph.
It's the second to the last page.
It's not a,
So I guess that area in the middle is the wetland, huh? With all the dots.
I think so. It's hard to see the legend, but I think the few dots, yeah, that's the designated wetland. Or- I don't see the riparian. Oh, I guess that's way over on the side. So I'm assuming that would be too damp to build on and they would avoid it, but
Yeah, that's why the house is on one side.
is there a way to accept the survey but really emphasize the discovery clause?
Well, we can put the discovery clause, or is this a after the fact project? No. We could condition, we've conditioned in the past to have a TIPO member present. or
TIPO
someone
is-
present.
what's TIPO?
Tribal,
Tribal monitor.
yeah.
Tribal.
For
Yeah, that
the,
might make-
especially for the septic tank, and, you know, the leach lines, those are the most disruptive.
It just seems like a really, right next to a wetland, you're gonna have a lot of resources. It seems like.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that Alex, you know, allowed her to say that they looked at the mineral soil every 25 meters. I mean, that's,
That's not much. Prehistoric is 600 meters, so
around,
2,400 feet, half mile, not quite, third of a mile away. There's a prehistoric site.
so I mean, we can recommend, a tribal monitor archaeologist be present for,
We feel
septic
better,
tank and,
especially if that person was trained.
Okay.
I was reminded about what you said
And-
before. Who does the follow-up when discovery closed?
for the
We don't know.
The,
Discover what,
the
who.
house. I mean, the drawing has the house where the resources would be, which is adjacent to the wetland, so. Yeah.
And can I clarify then, I heard that tribal monitor or archaeologist be present during ground disturbance for the septic only or for any ground disturbance?
You could say house foundations and septic system.
So foundation and septic. Okay.
And I mean, either that or they have somebody go back out there and show us that they did more shovel tests around the wetland, around the edges of the wetland. That would be another possibility.
Well, if
Can,
go ahead.
I'm just, where the house is located, they have a few topographic lines. It's descending to the left, is that right? So it's getting, the house is
Sloping,
built up a little bit on higher land.
yeah.
Yeah, that just seems like a real critical area in terms of,
It's all
The resources
it's
that
all
are-
smashed to one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either have a monitor and or an archaeologist or show us more shovel tests in the sensitive areas around the wetland. There's two possible scenarios.
Which would commissioners be more comfortable with? If we, because I think we have to do one or the other. I don't think I can condition it as an or. It has to be either the applicant will have
another survey
an
done.
archaeologist present or a tribal monitor present during construction, or we bring it back to hearing next month with the required shovel tests or proof of that shovel tests were done. Yes, Commissioner Lockhart.
Thank you.
Yeah, observation of mineral soil. It usually occurs more often than 25 meters. That's really stretching it.
Okay. Commissioner Lockhart.
I would, thank you, Bill, for your comment, but however, I'm thinking in the terms of having a tribal monitor, tribal representative be present. It's much more applicable since this is, well, it said in plain language that on page 12 that was it 600 meters northwest of the project area was a prehistoric discovery in 1918.
What direction was it?
Oh, that's the number of it. On page 12.
Northwest? I mean, northwest, okay.
Yeah. So just in case, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get that gut feeling. It's not a gut feeling, it's a spiritual feeling. I feel like you never know.
Well,
Because
You like the idea of a monitor there?
Yeah, tribal
Yeah.
monitor, yeah.
right.
Cool, let's do that.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and make a motion based on what I've heard. So we'll make a motion to accept the survey with the condition that a tribal monitor or archaeologist be present during ground disturbance for the foundation of the house and for septic.
So I have a question.
Oh.
Is this on the archaeologists for the survey, or is it on the landowners for the construction?
This-
Extra work, this extra thing. I mean, is this because the archaeologists didn't do their job well enough, so this is their responsibility? Or is this the landowners because this is a further thing?
Well, it would be the project applicant's responsibility because it's going to be made as a condition on their application and their project. How they decide who is going to be responsible for having an archaeologist or a tribal member there and present is entirely up to the applicant.
Okay, so the owner could say, this is on you, the archaeologist company.
But we
Because you
can't
didn't, because they didn't accept it.
Right, but we can't make that call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the motion stands then, accept the survey with the condition that an archaeologist or tribal monitor be present during ground disturbance for the house foundation and for septic. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, second by Commissioner Johnson. Okay, roll call. Commissioner Cole?
I approve.
Commissioner Dick?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lockhart?
Yes,
And PBS is a yes. Okay, survey is accepted with the added condition that a tribal member or archaeologist be present during ground disturbance for the house foundation and for septic. Alrighty. And moving on, we have.
So I just have one more question. So if we do something like that, does it get back to a company that their methods were not up to standard? I mean, how does that play out for other, do they hear about this?
I think that the applicant could, call the planner and ask, why is this condition being made? I, brought this to hearing twice. Why wasn't it accepted as is? And at that time, the planner can explain that the survey was inadequate and was accepted only with this condition.
Okay. So it could get back to the company
could get-
that
yeah.
did, yeah.
Probably will.
Yeah, that's
point of
Commissioner
order.
Lockwood, yes.
Thank you. I totally agree with Commissioner Johnson. That point, it has bothered me also. Because of the fact that, well, I've been at this a long time. I've been a Native person, I've been a First Nations person a long time. And I often wonder where these policies come from. I know it comes from law, I know it comes from blah, 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 but yet, in the transaction of this starting point with all good intentions, but in, the old saying, setting people in a circle and you tell somebody and then by the time the story gets to the, it's altered. So I really get that feeling a lot, in the process. So I think it's a point we might want to keep at a PS somewhere in the back of our head or on, things to
Okay,
carefully reconsider it
okay,
in the seasonal process, et cetera,
yeah, okay.
Word to the wise.
Thank you. All right, then, moving on then to CDP number 2023-0014. The owner
You
is,
missed
06.
oh, we're doing, I'm sorry, 06. Sorry, CDP 2023-0006. Owner applicant is Denise Pinkston and Jeffrey Sinsheimer. The agent is Deborah Lennox. The request is a coastal development permit to construct a new 2,336 square foot, 4-bedroom, single-family residence with a 576 square foot attached garage and storage. Additional improvements include a 424 square feet of porches, 1,257 square feet of patios, an entry gate, fencing, landscaping walls, stone stairs, various water storage containers, a fire pit, 6,203 square feet of landscaping, and the conversion of a test well to a development well for potable water needs. The project is located in the coastal zone, approximately 655 feet east of Albion Town Center on the north side of Albion Ridge Road, and approximately 700 feet east of its intersection with Albion Street. The project is addressed at 33800 Albion Ridge Road, assessor parcel number 123-17019. And do we have anyone here to speak on the
Yes.
project?
We have the owner, agent, and the archaeologist.
Oh, excellent. Okay, welcome everyone. And I'd also like to add that we have planner Grondike here as well in the room. Any comments on the project before we turn this over to the commission for discussion?
Hi, this is Denise Pinkston, the applicant. Thank you for taking a look at this item today. I'm here with my architect, Deborah Lennox, and my archaeologist, Nicholas Radke, and you probably mostly want to talk to Nicholas, so that concludes my remarks to the commission. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nicholas speaking, and I'm just happy to have the opportunity to speak with you today.
Thank you.
And this is Deborah Lennox. Hi again. I'm here for any other questions that you might have about something that Nicholas doesn't answer for you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here. We will turn it then over to the commission for discussion.
Okay, so we've got some shovel tests.
I have to say, I like your map of survey coverage, where you put your shovel pits in. We don't usually get it so visual,
Yeah.
so that we can just look and see where they were put.
Thank you.
It's not often we can see, or the print that you find.
Right.
What I will say is that I'm the reviewer for the report. I'm not the person that was in the field, but I have given the report the full read over and given it the internal seal of approval.
Okay, well, I would like to point out that it looks like the 10-meter intervals were done correctly and the transects the shovel tests were done at 15 to 20-meter intervals. And so that aligns with our requests.
Yeah, I don't have any trouble with the survey.
Is it, Dennis, are you an archaeologist?
Denise, hi. No, I'm not. My archaeologist is Nicholas, who is the gentleman that spoke for us.
Okay. I would just, as a side note, I'd like to ask him why aren't the shovel tests a little closer than 15 meters? That's it's like 45 feet. I guess that's like minimum anyway. Okay. This, to me, I would like to see them a little closer.
Okay, I will note that for future surveys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dick, any comments?
No, I think it was a good report.
Okay. Any more comments from commissioners?
A motion that we accept with the discovery clause.
Okay. We have a motion then from Commissioner Johnson to accept the survey with the discovery clause.
Lockhart, second.
Seconded by Lockhart. Okay, roll call. Commissioner Cull,
Affirmative.
Commissioner Dick,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lockhart,
Yes.
and PBS is a yes. Motion carries 5-0. Survey is accepted with the discovery clause. All right, thank you everybody for showing up today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and this brings us to the next project, which is CDP 2023-0014. The owner is Lancion Linda Jean. The agent applicant is Chris Ostick. The request is an administrative coastal development permit to construct a 1,900 square foot multi-story single-family residence with a maximum height of 16 feet above natural grade. The request also includes connection to the North Gualala Water District as well as utilities. The project is located in the coastal zone, approximately 4 miles north of Gualala, lying on the east side of Fish Rock Road. The project's addressed at 46461 Fish Rock Road in Gualala, assessor parcel number 143-21130. And I believe we have the agent or applicant here, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Bostic. Do you have any comments for the commission? Any comments on the project, but we turn it over to the commission for discussion.
No comments. The archaeologists seem to do a very thorough report. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
The other, by the way, that first name you mentioned is the previous owner of the project. Like Honey owned it for 35 years.
Brandstock or Boston?
Bostic is who owns it now. Myself and my sister own it.
Oh, okay.
Beatrice Bostic and me, Christopher Bostic.
Okay, make that correction. Thank you. Okie doke. Commissioners, any thoughts?
Trying to catch myself up here. Not much detail about the survey. No mention of the ground cover, no mention of shovels, no mention of transects.
I agree. I don't see anything on
The parcel's
transect.
about an acre, is that right?
it. Is it is about an acre. Let me get that exact number for you. Yes, it's about an acre. It's 40,172 square feet. Commissioner Cull, Commissioner Dick, or Commissioner Lockhart, any observations?
Let's go read this here. Which are located mechanically graded surface. Previous landowner contains also exposures across the ground surface, sloping down in property steeper towards the window, subject to more cursory survey.
The septic system was upgraded just a few years ago before we purchased it. That would be any disturbed soil.
It's sort of hard to tell. I mean, it sounds like that a lot of the property was graded and then it gets too really steep. But there's not much said about what was actually done. The survey focused on the western end of the parcel, in which are located mechanically graded terraces.
The only mechanically graded area would be the area of the once existing septic service that had new lines installed. That would be the only ground disturbed in 30 years.
Okay.
Well, I have a comment,
Yes, Commissioner
Mr.
Lockhart.
Chair. In the cover page to
Mhm.
the county from the California Historical Government Information System, I'm just going to read it. Archaeological and Native American resources recommendations based on an evaluation of the environmental setting and features associated with known sites. Native American resources in this part of Mendocino County have been found in areas in close proximity to coastal areas and near a variety of plant and animal resources. Sites are also found near water. I would enforce that by saying sites are always found near water resources. The proposed project area is located in close proximity to the coast and Ferguson Gulch, where the coast and Ferguson Gulch bisects the project parcel. Given the similarity of these environmental factors, there is a moderate potential for unrecorded Native American resources to be within the proposed area. I would rephrase that to say there would be a likely potential for unrecorded Native American resources to be within that proposed project area. So you think in the terms of going back to those days, these were people that were always looking for a source of food, not just for themselves, but for families, or the entire tribe.
Mhm.
So, and the more I read into this, and it seems to me sort of like a political struggle between this family and the tribal people there at that time, the Fergusons I'm referring to.
Oh.
And it's like, get out of my way, I want this, or you can't have that, that's my harvest site. And I have to feed my family, but, I just.
Yeah, maybe we should send it back and ask them to please conform to our, whatever it's called, our instructions for surveys, where they tell us what the transects spaces were and they describe how they assess mineral soil, and none of that's in here.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion based on that and previous projects of this nature that I'm going to make a motion that we continue the project to November 8th and the archaeologist to provide explanation of how the conclusions were reached. And Bill, can you help me out here? So, and then
Transect distances and observation of mineral soil. We have no idea how he did that.
okay, and how mineral soil were observed. Okay, so let me rephrase that again. So make a motion to continue the project November 8th, 2023, and have the archaeologist provide explanation of how conclusions were reached for the survey. Also provide the transects distances and how mineral soils were observed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if possible, it'd be nice to have it on a map.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the maps that are like really general maps, here we are on the coast and here's this little box that's the project
And you
area.
want each area?
Well,
that
I
was
think if
shovel
there's,
test was done?
some kind of a description of just the project area that's only an acre and where it was walked and where the shovel tests were located and
Okay.
just, if they've got that.
It's vague.
It's really not so much, it's not so much as a shovel test, but observation.
Right.
Okay.
Soil.
So I'll try that motion again then. So motion to continue the item to November 8th, 2023. Archaeologists to provide explanation of how conclusions were reached for survey, to include transect distances, how mineral soils were observed, and a map of where the locations of mineral soil observations.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all right. Do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, okay.
Would you repeat the motion?
There are so many, there are so many GPS apps that you can have on your phone, which will show you exactly where you walked and exactly where you looked at mineral soil. I mean, there's a dozen of these apps that anybody could have, which I don't know, maybe anyway, I don't know what's wrong with that guy, Richard, but he seems to do this a lot. He just gives us minimal information every time, it seems like.
Okay, Commissioner Lockhart requested that I repeat the motion, so I will. That motion is to continue the project to November 8th, 2023. The archaeologist to provide an explanation of how conclusions were reached for the survey, and to include transect distances, how mineral soils were observed and where mineral soils were observed, and provide a map of mineral soil observation sites. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and that seconded was by Cull. And roll call then. So Commissioner Dick,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lockhart,
Yes,
Commissioner Cull,
Yes.
and PBS is a yes. All right, so the item is continued then to the November 8th hearing. Thank you, Mr. Bostic.
Thank you. Will I get an email or something with that list of conditions to forward to the archaeologist?
Yes, I'll prepare an action sheet and send that to your planner, and your planner will get that to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, have a good evening. Okay, and that brings us to the last project of the day, which is case number U20230005. The owner is Baywoods LLC. The applicant is Telespan Communications. The request is a use permit to construct a new 125-foot cellular antenna tower with a monopine type design. Install 3 arrays of antennas for 3 wireless carriers along with associated tower and ground equipment, including emergency electricity generator per each co-locator and carrier. Additional work includes the installation of 430 feet of underground utilities. All equipment will be placed on concrete pads and located within a fenced 2,500 square foot lease area at the base of the tower. The project is in the coastal zone, approximately 2.4 miles north of Manchester, lying on the east side of State Route 1, approximately 0.9 miles north of its intersection with Alder Creek Beach Road. It is addressed at 16401 South Highway 1 in Manchester, assessor parcel number 132-18018. And the planner Growendike did prepare a memo for this project. Keith, did you want to present this memo?
The applicant's representative who prepared the ARC study for this project cannot be present at this Archaeological Commission hearing, and so he has requested that the item be continued to the November 8th, 2023 Archaeological Commission meeting.
Okay, so unless anyone has questions, I'll make a motion then that we go ahead and continue this item to the November 8th, 2023 Archaeological Commission meeting.
I just have a question, and I honestly might have already been presented with it, I just can't tell. I know that there are historic archaeological sites that were recorded, and I would like to know what the impact will be, where the tower's going to go, where the trenches are going to go, and maybe that's already been provided relative to those sites. But I know that the historic sites are there. I just don't know how that's connected to where the damage is going to be done to the surface of the land. So, or are the buildings gonna be removed? Are they, I mean, I just don't know how the two are connected.
Okay, and the archaeologist will be here?
Yes, he will be here on November 8th.
So we'll, with the archaeologist here, we can, and the applicant.
Quizzer
We can,
about it.
yeah,
Okay.
between the applicant and the archaeologist, I think we can get all questions answered. So then I'll make that motion again to continue, case number U 2023-0005 to the November 8th, 2023 Archaeological Commission meeting. And do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Johnson. Okay, roll call. Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Dick?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lockhart?
Yes,
And PBS is a yes. Okay, item is then continued until November 8th, 2023. All right, that concludes all the cases. Thank you, Keith. Today, so we'll move on to item number 5, which is matters from staff, and staff has none, which means we move on to item 6, matters from commission. Any matters from the commission? Commissioner Lockhart.
thank you. I'm concerned about the discussion. Well, number one, we're still waiting to hear or have the guests from an information center.
Yes, from Sonoma State.
Sonoma
Yes.
State, okay. And then number 2 is concerned about the scuttlebutt I've been hearing for a couple of years about rubbing us out.
Yes, yeah, that was brought up at Board of Supervisors a few meetings back. County Council has to look into how that's going to be done, so this is nothing that's going to happen quickly. It has to be written up and brought back to the Board of Supervisors, so for the time being, it's status quo.
Right.
But there is one concern. This is a Brown Act hearing body, and as such, all material that you're provided with needs to be provided to the public. But surveys are confidential,
Right,
so we run into a problem there.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So,
You
yeah.
know, did you know my heart desire when I was in high school was to become an attorney?
Oh, yeah?
I love digging into the truth, and
Oh.
and when you hit those, you know, where you're bumping your head against the stone wall, I say to myself, my mother used to always say, some people don't understand common sense. Meaning the outside community, you know. And now I see that so clearly.
Mm.
Where's our common sense, folks? You know, we make one law to do this law, and then nobody checks to see if it's coordinated or if it's applicable.
Right.
Like when we started wanting to grow marijuana on every little tiny piece of soil and in a single pen, without checking with fishing game.
Right.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, but so it is being discussed, but for now it is status quo until county council can begin doing a little research.
Right, and for the record, as a tribal representative, I would like to again remind the Board of Supervisors and the County Council, and of course that would be down the line, planning and building, is that we have to go by US Code 25, which is a government-to-government relationship with the tribes. Even though paperwork and, you know, the wording says that the project or the owner needs to let tribes know what's going on out there and so on and so forth. But then it's kind of like, what's that saying where you double talk? There's a lot of double talk in this whole situation. But again, tribes have to be aware. Now, if I go to every tribal council meeting and make a presentation and I have a gag order, my hands are tied behind my back. I can't show them the map, but so I've been meditating on this for some time. So what I'm going to do is encourage every tribe from their education department to make sure that at least 5 kids have a library card.
Mm.
And go and check the resources at the library,
Yeah.
which have the maps.
Great. Yes, good, yeah.
So that's my point, at making sure that there is quality communication, sincere outreach, and that we come together feeling good about ourselves and feeling we've done the best we can, no matter what.
Right.
That's what's important.
Good. All right, thank you.
Amen.
Any more matters from commission?
I just have a question. So the things we are worried about with these surveys in terms of the distance with the transects and stuff, maybe Bill knows. Is there a state standard for surveys?
That's a very good question. Bill?
I mean, is this just our own personal experience that we say that's not those transects are too wide or those shovel pits are not close enough? Is there anything that comes out of the agencies for the state that says this is what you need to do? It's kind of like when you dig a unit, you know, there are rules about how you should excavate a unit. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty much up to the archaeologist, as far as the industry goes.
I'm surprised.
And I know that we sort of made ours a little more strict, the transcripts, I think, in the last review of our policy, correct? Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we beefed them up a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
And that way it lets us know that they've actually looked at the ground, that they, looked at it closely enough. I mean, it's pretty standard for archaeologists to do, like, anywhere from 5, maybe most common 10 to 15 meter of transects. Just depends on the sensitivity. If it's a sensitive area, you want to do, like 5 meter. That's 15 feet. Every 15 feet is, if it's a pretty sensitive area, that's what you want to do.
And that's what our policy says. Okay, good point, though.
I guess
I
was going to say another question on this last one, because these are all historic buildings. I'm just wondering if an architectural historian would be the one that would have made the evaluation. I don't know if this guy is an architectural historian or just an archaeologist.
Well, I guess we'll find out next month.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see if they, we'll send out another packet if they do send out any updates to the survey.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll just resend the current one. Okay, any more matters from commission?
No, I think we're good.
No? Okay, moving on to item 7 then, matters from the public. Anyone from the public here?
No members of the
Nope.
public on Zoom.
Okay, that brings us to the final item then, adjournment. All in favor of adjourning the October 11th, 2023 Archaeological Commission, say aye. Aye. All right.
Yeah, I really appreciate everybody. I think we've got a really good, a good group of people on the commission now.
Yes, I agree.
Good to know.
Thank you, Bill. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.